I think that a lot of people think that what I did was easy and natural and just they can do it themselves. God bless them because the what I've been through to build this vampire world
Well,
is
I can see it. Yeah, I mean,
is
I was at the ball. I can see.
it's hard work, man.
I know it is.
It's
I
not
know
a
it is.
joke.
I know. I promoted shows. I promoted clubs. I know it is. It is. People don't know what goes on behind the scenes. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and it looks like a simple golf club,
Yeah,
and
but
then
nothing simple. You're in charge of everything.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I really have a lot of respect for people in the hospitality, entertainment, and event production business because I
Right.
know what it's like. But I threw my first dress code party when I was 13 on my 13th birthday.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So this, as along with vampires, this is something that you were interested in an early age.
I go to the nightclubs because I don't drink.
Right.
I don't do drugs.
Right.
I smoke weed once in a while.
Okay.
Um, but I don't go to the clubs for any. Like I'll go dancing. I go to Cloak and Dagger on Tuesdays. I like going to Bar Sinister.
Right.
L.A. has the history. I mean, Lost Boys is from California. I was born in California. I already did Europe for 15 years.
Right.
I've been in every country making fangs in Europe. I have incredible relationships with people all over Europe.
Right.
I'm from New York originally. New York was the vampire capital, then Paris was, and then I'm bringing it here.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people say when Father Sebastian's in town, this is the capital.
Is that what it is? You're the center of the lifestyle universe.
No, I wouldn't say I'm the center, but I'm definitely the most controversial guy in that community.
Now, is there beef in the vampire
Crips
lifestyle?
and Bloods, baby.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But there's no violence, and it's just some.
No biting, nothing.
Sadly.
No.
There's different groups and organizations out there, and I predominantly am running a professional business, trying to cater to my clients, and that's what I focus on.
Right. So the Endless Nights Vampire Ball.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first do it? What was your first one?
I wanted to run a vampire ball at Limelight, New York, and Peter Gation, the owner, the guy with the eye patch in the movie,
Right.
he was like, "You need to build your equity as a promoter."
Yeah.
And then I went to New Orleans, and I got invited because I went to the Dark Shadows Festival in June of 1995, and I met this girl that looked like Wednesday Addams but older and really hot, and I was like, I know, I was 19.
Yeah.
All right. And she's like, "You want to come to New Orleans for Halloween to go to the Anne Rice ball?"
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Do I? Yeah.
because you couldn't get tickets unless you were a member of the fan club, and people were joining the fan club just to get tickets.
Oh, really?
So what Vampire the Masquerade definitely changed things. But when I went to New Orleans,
Yeah.
and I saw Anne Rice's ball, the real one she did, the big
Right.
one, year after Interview with the Vampire came out.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this was October, Interview with the October 1995.
Yeah.
I was working at Limelight and running vampire games, and the
And Vampire Games is what?
Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
You gotta check this stuff out, man.
No,
'cause
no,
this is
no,
gonna be-
I didn't know if there was like an Olympics for vampires. I didn't know what you were
There's a
referring
Cannibal Olympics.
to. Okay, I'll look
It's a
that
TV
up.
show in Japan.
Okay.
But what happened is I went to Anne Rice's party, and it was a Friday night, and it was in front of St. Elizabeth's, this orphanage that was just like a city block,
Right.
with this incredible gates in the Garden District of New Orleans. And Interview with the Vampire had been out for a year. Everybody was vampire crazy. I was making fangs like mad.
I
This
can
was
imagine,
my
yeah.
first year, like literally I haven't been making fangs for a year, and I'm like, my hands are bleeding. I'm making so many fangs. I mean, these hands have made thousands of fangs.
Yeah.
So what happened was Sandy, the girl I was with, was working for Roadrunner Records at the time. She was a publicist.
Okay.
We got in the line, and there was 5,000 people.
Wow.
And a horse-drawn carriage comes down the street,
As
and
it
then
is.
another one,
Oh, yeah.
and a coffin, and these big pallbearers look like they're out of Adam's family come out and pull this coffin out, and they move the crowd, right, and they pop it up against the gate, and then they pull another coffin out and they pop it against the gate. And I was like, what the hell is going on? This is the grand entrance.
Yes.
And out of the coffin comes Anne Rice,
That's great.
a horse-drawn hearse,
That's great.
and she welcomed all her guests and started waving. And got on the microphone and it goes, you know how Anne she is with her fans. She's
Yeah.
just she's a role model for anybody of equity to
Yes.
love her fans.
Yes.
Okay. And she goes, "I have a surprise for you, my friends." And out of the second coffin came Kirsten Dunst.
Wow.
Okay, and they got in a carriage and they greeted every single person that walked in the door of that ball.
Amazing.
5,000 people. It took 3 hours to get them in.
Amazing.
Or you could walk right by her, of course, but that ball was incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need a vampire ball.
Yes.
New York. And I went back and I went to Peter Gation from Limelight and I'm like, I need to do a vampire ball. And he's like, no.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, I'm packing your I have these vampire. I want the whole club one night. He's like, no. You go to the bank and you throw a vampire ball there, and if you get over 300 people, we'll talk. And I had 607.
There you go.
We sold 666 tickets.
And now it's worldwide. How many vampire balls are happening this year?
We just did LA and
Right.
So this year's schedule, there's 2 different events we do. We do
Okay.
salons and vampire balls.
Okay.
And then we have a kinky party called Mask, which is like Vampire Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
All right, so the first product is the Vampire Salon. Usually is this more intimate, casual, like a boudoir or salon noir type event.
Okay.
Okay, it's more loungy. There's some dancing, but people are hanging out talking.
Okay.
Okay, that's the salon. Then the Vampire Ball usually goes from 10 to 4, and at midnight we put all the performances together with 3 shows, and then we all howl like wolves. The whole club is wonderful.
Right.
And then at the end, we have a costume contest, and we give free tickets out for New Orleans.
Right.
So that's a standard Vampire Ball with a dress code. Very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let the audience be the decor.
Right.
So we started in New York. I did 4 vampire balls, and Susan Walsh, a vampire reporter, disappeared investigating vampires the month of my biggest vampire ball I ever had, which was 2,800 people.
Wow.
Yeah, that was at Limelight, and that was right before they closed. And I was
She disappeared.
investigating the vampire stuff. So look up Susan Walsh, the mystery of Susan Walsh.
Interesting.
And then I was the most visible after that. 3 vampire balls, and being in the New York Times and on MTV, the whole media came down upon me.
Ooh.
And they were just like, "Where's Susan Walsh?" I don't know Susan Walsh.
Wow. And the next one is Las Vegas?
So yes, we started with LA, then we did Tampa. We had 1,200 people in Tampa at the castle.
Now, I've been finding out Tampa's a real hotbed for underground goth and
It's
vampire,
awesome.
yeah.
Because they have an incredible club called the Castle that's owned by a goth.
Okay.
And Jenna Torturous from the band Jenna Torturous.
Right.
Jen is his partner.
Wow.
So they've got steampunk balls. I mean, the Castle and Florida has an incredible community.
I gotta hang out in Tampa.
Yeah, Ybor City's like a little French Quarter
Right.
with chickens.
Oh, wow. Oh, great.
We had 1,200 people.
Amazing.
And last year we did 800. So our brand is expanding. The Endless Night Vampire World is growing like incredibly. And then we're doing Vegas at the Artisan Hotel on the April 29th.
And I performed at the Artisan Hotel. It's an appropriate place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What'd
I
you
love
do
that
there?
one. Oh, I do shows there. I've done. My friend Ms. Absurd plays stand-up bass and sings. We have burlesque and I do comedy. It's great.
You can find all this out at endlessnight.com. Then we go to Germany for Wave Gothic Treffen. Then I'm going to be in Paris holding a small little gathering, meet and greet with Father Sebsastiaan.
Okay.
Because Paris is a very difficult city to run a party in.
Right.
I might do something in November. And then we go to Dublin.
You're telling me.
And we're taking off our summer vampire festival. We do a vampire festival every 2 years called Conclave Festival.
And this is one of the on years?
This is the off year.
Off year, okay.
Yeah, we're doing July 12th through 17th, 2019. It's in Rammingstein, Austria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're all booked up till 2019?
My Fang business is booked up until 2019. Yes.
Wow.
I don't have any more appointments.
And New Orleans every Halloween?
Yes, and then New Orleans is our big day. We had last year we had 1,450 people.
Mm-hmm.
We had so many people this year, the costumes were just everywhere.
Yeah.
We added another room and cut 400 tickets off the ticket sales.
Oh, wow.
Because we're really concerned about the customer's experience. We want them cut. Our deal is every person that walks through that door. Right. Our motto is a king or queen of the vampires.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, having gone to your events, I did feel like the king of the vampires.
Really? I'm glad that you did.
I did. No, both times I've gone in New Orleans and I had the greatest time. And I had a great time talking to you today. Where does the time go? We got to have you back. There's so much I didn't get into. There's so many questions I had. You're a fascinating guy.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on the show. Hannah, I hope everything's fine with your car. I'm going to find that out in a little bit. Nicole, whatever the emergency is, I hope it passed over. Next week is actually our 5th anniversary.
Congratulations.
You know what we're going to have? You ever see Better Off Dead? The movie with John Cusack?
Oh my god.
Or the Last American Virgin?
Last American Virgin, no.